tea.
No, a cup of tea.
What is good? What is good? I hope you're doing good, Mambo VP. So I have a few notes down. I wrote them down over here. I went on production last week for about 4 days, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on how that production went, the challenges, the post-production, and also my thoughts on the tools that I used. So last week I went on a production for a camp and a lodges company based here in Arusha, and I had to produce some photos and videos for this camp. I was actually doing two things. One was shooting a training that was happening where they were training their guides, and then also shooting some photos and videos of a camp. They did some renovations. All in all, it went well. It wasn't really one of those like fast-paced shoots. It was a bit more more relaxed type of shooting, which I enjoy. One of the reasons I moved from wedding portrait work to hotel work. But I did have some challenges initially. Actually, it's wearing off, but if I show you my hands, I have like a bit of like remaining blisters, which I got from a virus that I got from my son from going to, when they start going to school, kids are sharing with each other like all these different like illnesses, and I ended up sharing the same spoon with him. So I got this virus, which is called like hand, feet, and mouth virus, and it caused like a lot of sores in my hands, and it was very difficult to kind of hold the camera and shoot. So the beginning of the shoot, the first 2 days were quite painful, but I was able to work through that, and then after that it was all good. So another challenge, I think what I'm facing when it comes to these type of projects, I did go with an assistant, but one of the challenges I'm facing is capturing photos and videos. It's two totally different like mind states when you're shooting photography and when you're shooting film. So I'm always trying to switch. What I've done is also I usually rent out like another camera. At the moment, I only have one body, which is the FX3 for my filmmaking work. So when it comes to photography, I rent out. Previously, I was renting out the Canon 5D Mark IV. Amazing camera, great visuals. I just didn't like the fact that it didn't have a tilt screen. So this time around, I wanted to try out the Sony A7IV. I took it out there. Really great camera, beautiful images, and it helps with separating photography and film, right? So I have two bodies, and I can, when I'm shooting film, like I shoot it, I put it on the side, and then I know that I need to shoot photos. Whereas before, like I had a hybrid, and you'd find that I would think like I shot a shot for film, realizing that I only took photographs. So now this helps me a bit, kind of like realize if I've shot it or not. And then, when I think about the camera, the A7IV, I enjoyed it, but I'm really not a huge fan of the color science. The images turned out great, but I feel like I would like to try out something different. I was looking to buying the Canon 5D Mark IV, but because of the tilt screen, it becomes very challenging when I'm in tight spots and I want to look low, or like when I'm taking photos of rooms. Then I find that I have to slouch down, and it's a small thing, but when you're doing it for a long period of time, it does become an issue. So I am considering actually checking out the Nikon D850. A friend of mine has it, so I would borrow his camera, just test it out, see how the files are. And yeah, you might be wondering why I'm looking at DSLRs. I feel like photography side of things hasn't changed much besides like the AI autofocus, features in modern cameras. And for the type of stuff that I'm shooting, which is like interiors, like lodges, I'm rarely shooting wildlife. I feel like a DSLR does a great job. I'm not shooting sports. I don't need anything fast. And when it comes to like wedding work, if I do shoot like the 1 or 2 weddings I have in a year, I'll just rent out another camera that has those features. So I'm curious. I've always been curious. I started my career with the Nikon in the beginning before I switched to Canon. So I'm curious to try it out. Been very interested with the colors and how those images are. And while on the trip, I actually got to try out the Nikon Z, I think Z9 or Z8, and it was beautiful to shoot. So I'll let you guys know once I get the Nikon on hand, and I'll go out with it and bring you guys along. So that is my thought from this production. In terms of post-production, it's gone well. I've been able to finish editing the images, and I use Pixieset to send it out to my clients. So I've already uploaded them and sent it out to them so they'll be able to use them. Now the editing for the video is starting, so I need to sit down, do my selections, and then after doing the selections, I can start piecing together some edits. Recently, I found out that it's much easier for me, especially with these run and gun, where you're just going shooting and then you kind of have to figure out what you're going to do with the content. It's helped me that once I finish shooting, I sit down, kind of write down like a script with the content I've shot, like an idea of what a reel could look like, instead of actually sitting there and then trying to figure it out. I've found that that has been a bit more challenging for me, and writing it down helps me out so much. So that is my plan going forward for this edit. I'll share with you the videos once I'm done with it. Delivery in terms of photos, I think I've sent over 200 images for this project, the training and the lodge, the camp photos. And for video, maybe I'll put together a few reels and share those as well. All in all, a good production. I did have another project I needed to do, so I am behind. That's why sometimes having an editor would be great. But I'm going to work on that. I need to sit down and then edit that footage. But I wanted to share with you guys an overview of what that production looked like, my thought process going into that production. And yeah, now I'm back at the studio doing some editing. And yeah, thought I would share with you. So let me know if these type of videos are something you'd like, and if you'd like to know anything more in particular from the project that I did, and maybe what I do as a photographer for like hotels and camps, please share some comments down below or some questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you guys. That's it for me. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you on another video. As always, stay safe, stay creative, and peace out.